Yoga rays, shitting course.
So, this game is entertaining, at least at the beginning, for all the wrong reasons. That's the type of stuff that you hear. It's not what they're actually trying to say.
Yeah, but it's like, it's visually pleasing as well.
Auditory pleasing. Yes.
Yes.
So, would you say this is a complicated, like, space strategy, Warhammer 40k game? Because it doesn't seem complicated. Like, the basic commands you were doing was attack. I don't know if you held down shift and then attack, but, like, then you were zooming the camera and, like... The weird thing is I read that, like, they say that it's really hard to get into, but once you get into it, it's interesting.
It's not that difficult.
Mm-hmm. The crazy thing is that pretty much once, from what I've read, the game starts off really well and then it gets ridiculously, stupidly hard. And instead of having a fleet of ships, you usually only see 3 or 4 ships on screen. Now, I don't know if that affects, one's enjoyment, but apparently the plot's really good too.
Oh yeah.
That's what I heard.
We got a gist of the plot, but unfortunately the audio ends up desyncing with the video.
Well, that's in the cutscenes though.
That's only in cutscenes.
Yeah.
Like when it's
kind
just
of amusing though.
when it's using just the real-time graphics, it's actually really good.
I kept seeing there was one term that they kept, lack of quality. I don't know what they...
Quality of life.
Yeah, quality of life.
I think it means like to make things easier for the player.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that must have been it. I was like, what's quality of life? Like, shelf life? Half-life?
It was a good thing I read the reviews as well.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I think I got this game for $8. So honestly, for $8, this seems like an amazing deal.
This is like that's a steal basically.
The game normally is like $40. Sure 37. Yeah.
37. My girlfriend paid $37 in a row.
What's that from?
Clerks. But she didn't say dollars, and she didn't say spend.
And the expansions are 8 each, so 2 expansions. So there was a star deal on Fanatical for $8. So for $8, I can't complain. I think for me, 10, 15, that's the toppers I would pay.
This
$40 would totally not be.
This is I would say
it's well
like
done though. The graphics are good. Yeah, the sound is funny.
The quality of the game is very grand strategy enough where I could just say
we were playing on low
full price might actually be worth it.
You would pay 40?
Well, no, because I'm on a shoestring budget.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. It didn't seem too hard, but I guess the multiplayer also apparently there is multiplayer. But like it says something about the OP. Like it didn't say players are OP, it just said OP. So I assume the original host is OP. I don't know.
Maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Reviewers, please.
This is Pirates in Space.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that later. But reviewers, please do us a favor and explain to us what you mean by quality of life or OP, because the average like Steam newbie is gonna be like, what is that? And they're gonna go on looking at we've improved quality of life on our League of Legends game, and it's like, what does that have to do with anything?
I thought it meant like people weren't playing the game, like it was shelf life, like how long.
That's what I initially thought as well, because when you said quality of life, it means like, this game isn't supported enough or whatever. And I mean, there have been cases where games have just got their support dropped.
Well, that's so common on Steam, and a game will just drop, and then a week later there'll be like no one playing the multiplayer. Because I actually saw that with Duke Nukem Forever. Like the game came out, I don't think it sold a lot of copies, but it was okay.
Or even
like a week later, I found like 3 people playing the multiplayer.
Like
a month later.
Yeah, and they still like sell the game even though like all the servers are disconnected and no one's playing it anymore.
Yeah, well that's like the cowboy game that I played in Kingston with my buddy down there. It was weird. One day there was no one playing, and then the other day
the servers
Like a
went
week later,
down.
there were like 4 people playing, so it made no sense.
Oh no, I'm saying like, oh,
More.
when they officially said we're closing down our servers.
Oh, yeah, well that's like EA every year. They shut down the previous year's FIFA support or whatever. Surprised Splatoon still has support actually. It's the first game, as far as I know, it's not been shut down.
You wait until Nintendo
But honestly,
decides.
from what I've seen in Splatoon 1 versus 2, 1 seems to have a better personality.
Well,
It's all about that personality.
Cheese Whiz ass personality, personality.
Yeah.
But back to the game. You
Yes.
said pirates. Yes, this game.
Space Pirates.
It looks more like the aesthetic of it
Charging close.
is space-like, but the way you can see it is more or less a pirate-themed game.
Yeah.
Where not like pirates in the sense of yeah, we're raiding shit, we're raiding our booty, but rather we're basically, mutinies. Yeah, there were mutinies in the game, but like also like the ships are basically just sailing around. They're not like space is not like a.
The thing is, what I saw is the space seems huge, and one reviewer said, "Oh, it looks like they were trying to be more ambitious, and they weren't able to fulfill that ambitious scope that they had." So
You can go around us.
yeah, so I don't know. I think they tried to do a lot and then they couldn't fulfill that ambition. So
Yeah, well, no, the thing is that with the space thing,
and you seem to only fight in a small space.
yeah, the
in
planes are
campaigns.
fixed to are on the same layer, but in space battles like Star
It should
Wars
be
or
3D,
Star
right?
Trek, they're all flying around, they're zooming around. They're more like
I think that was a design decision. For sure.
They were more like dog fights than actual ship fights.
Like if you play Battlefront, it's a lot more like, obviously it's totally different action simulation.
Yeah.
Rather than
Although to be fair,
the ships are
most of the
everywhere.
ships we were commanding were like giant frigates.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'd be able to just like bend over
Yeah,
and just.
I don't
And
think
even
they
in
would.
like Star Wars, you don't see the Star Destroyers flying up and down. They just stay in the same plane while their little ships do the rest for them.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, the like small escort ships are doing that same thing too, where it's like they're just like flying in the same plane as the other ships, even though they're more maneuverable. It's
I think in the case of this game, it's a design decision. It's not the fact that it's not so much. It's to make it easier for you to maneuver and strategize.
yeah, it's
like they could have made it 3D, but they chose not to because then you get all sorts of problems like with the camera, like the way that camera is panning. Like, how confusing would it be if you see ships flying downwards and you're like panning and like it would. I think it's got to be a design decision.
yeah.
that they did.
Forgive me, I kind of just got a little
Yeah.
off track.
So-
personally though, I love this game. I say go check it out.
Yeah, I like it, but for me it would be like a $10 game. It's one of those you have to be sitting down with Coca or something and play. I couldn't see myself like playing this.
It's one of those games where it's like you have to be
If
a
I
big.
felt like an action game, then I wouldn't play this. I would play something like, what were we? Ubermosh. Yes, which I had a comment about it and now I totally forgot. But yeah, I'd play something like Ubermosh instead of this if I felt like it's action. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Please understood.
Let's shit course to the next game.
Amen.